Welcome everyone. Boy, have I got a treat for you. I have a guest today that is going to bring you 3 mystical experiences. Yeah. First of all, her amazing connection with plants, herbs, the outside spirit kingdom is how I'm going to put it, and she'll have her own version of that. And also, she has a special beverage she's going to cook up for us. So that's the second thing that's so great. And the third is her wonderful, wonderful gift of art and the medium that she is able to present as a gift of her connection with others. And she's going to do that with me as well. So I want to welcome Cindy. And Cindy, go ahead and share your last name with us because I always mess it up, guys.
You're not the only one. Anyway, hi, I'm Cindy McGonagle.
I'm just so happy to have you here, Cindy.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Look at us. We're sitting in her wonderful, amazing, I guess I would call it an actual plant kingdom. That's what I would label it, you guys, because it is thriving with happiness, with joy. I'll have our cameraman kind of do a little video later, and you can see all the goodies. But why don't you just tell us how your whole love of nature and what you're doing began?
Okay, so I had a wonderful growing up childhood in Hawaii. And I got exposed to the myths and the magic of the little people, the Menehunis. And I thought, what the heck is a Menehuni? But they had all these stories, you know, about their contribution. And they all worked with nature.
So do you think, so a lot of it was that, but also just you, right? And your energy and interaction, huh?
Well, it was my job to take care of the bananas, the mangoes, the papayas. You know, we had a glass house with orchids, and I'd never experienced any of that. There was all these unusual plants and foods and cultures, and it was just like opening my world up to who I was to become. And then later we moved to the East Coast, and so that was quite a shock.
Yes, the difference, huh?
But I remember even as a young person wanting to work for a museum. I just knew I'd work for a museum. So when I went to college, I actually studied anthropology.
So you connected your science background, your biology background, your anthropology background, and here you are, right?
Right.
Wow. Okay, guys, so I want you to understand that not very many people literally embrace what is already around them, right? I mean, it was just like hugging you from when you were little.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the funny things that somebody had said to me when I worked at the museum was, wow, you get paid to work in the dirt? And I said, yeah, I get paid to make mud pies that are actually the landscape, the ecosystem of whatever it is that we're displaying. So I did have a chance to really learn that. Then I moved to the Pacific Northwest, and I was gardening. And I went back to school in horticulture, so I was gardening the way that I had been taught. And then all of a sudden I heard this voice in my head, and I knew it wasn't my voice.
Okay.
So I thought, I need to discover what that is. And it was giving me instructions on how to plant something.
And do you feel that part of that voice was really something within your heart?
No, because it was a different voice than my own thought.
But you connected what you were hearing, and I think that is the magic. She listened and wasn't closed and didn't think she was crazy. She goes, no, there's something to this, and we're going to find out more. So keep on listening. Well, we have a treat now. We're in Cindy's kitchen, and let me tell you, do we have an amazing little recipe that we're gonna provide for you guys later. And basically it involves her connection with specific herbs, and they're just gonna be so amazing. I can't wait to do this recipe with you. So come on in, Cindy. Tell us about how this evolved, your connection you were gonna explain to everyone how this even came about.
True. So I would meditate in my garden, and I asked to be connected to a fairy. And I had no idea how that would turn out, but I heard a name. And the name I heard, I garbled because I'm human. And from that point on, she just said, call me Queen D. So what we're going to mix today is a recipe called Focus. And it comes from my book. And as you can tell, it has very simple herbs. It has thyme, lemon balm, and basil.
Oh, some of my favorite. I love basil. I mean, come on, what Italian person doesn't use basil all the time, right? Okay, so what am I doing? I'm gonna pick up the thyme.
Right, so this comes from Star West, but in the book, I have an index, and you can also check out other herb companies, but I really like buying this. You can get it on Amazon. And so we're gonna just mix up equal portions.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with thyme. And what is it about thyme that is so great for people to have? Not only in their cooking, but, you know, in the beverage, like what we're gonna do. Give us some wonderful qualities about thyme.
What I love about thyme is, you know, it has a very unique smell, just like basil does, and lemon balm. But it actually kind of brings the other two herbs together in a blend. I really love this formula, Focus. So what it does is it helps you to stay focused on every task. And you can get everything done that you ever wanted to get done for the day drinking this tea. So cheers.
So it's a little bit of an energy, right?
It's a way of concentration.
Ooh, okay. Should I keep going with the rest of these? Because we're gonna blend them, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the final product, you guys. Okay, so who doesn't want energy, right, ladies? So I did the thyme. I'm now going to do basil. And those of you that are Italian already know the benefits of basil, but why don't you give us some of the spiritual and energetic qualities of basil for people?
Basil is super easy to grow, and I highly recommend that you do it. You can even do microgreens in basil and sprouting basil.
Did you know, and I think you do know, that in our farmers markets, there's people that show up with that, isn't there? With the micro, yeah. Okay, so we've almost got the two in here.
And just make sure that you're buying organic herbs.
Okay, now, why do you say that? That's something important a lot of people don't realize that there's value in.
Yeah, what you really want to do is make sure for your body that you're getting the whole energy of the plant that's made for you.
I love the fact that she uses blue tape. Warren, my cameraman, he loves blue tape. Because not only can you see it, but it doesn't really harm the products that you're working with, whether it's a bag, whether it's your painting, right? Okay, so now our final one is, whoops, can't. Lemon balm. Okay, talk to me about that. Oh, wow.
Now, lemon balm is in the mint family, so you gotta be careful if you're starting to grow this on your own. You wanna put it into a container to restrict its growth. Otherwise, you'll have it throughout your whole garden, which is okay, but she's powerful.
Okay, so now we have this.
Okay, so mix up.
Yay! This is the fun part, guys. You know how I always talk on my cooking channel about having fun and loving what you're doing in the kitchen and not have to worry about so much about being, oh, I have to use a spoon that is exactly this way and I have to make sure that my measurement was just perfect. No, we were okay, right? Approximately equal portions.
Okay, so now one thing about working with Queen D in the Fairy Kingdom that's really important is to thank them for contributing their knowledge, their wisdom, their love, and friendship.
You know, I want to cry when she said this because I think this is a lost art in our culture. If you look back in history, almost every culture always has a blessing, love for where the product came, for the people that planted it, for the people that harvested it. So, I mean, I'm so grateful she did this. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so Queen D has taught me to use crystals. And so this crystal is perfect. It's actually a quartz crystal, and I've used it in the garden many times, but you can also energize the herb tea by spinning the quartz crystal that's dedicated to work with you for the highest and best energies. So you're also energetically mixing the herb and the herb energy together. And there you have it.
Wow. Now, what's the best way for those that have never done something like this? What's the best way to keep this? Use it? How much?
Okay, so this tea, actually, I like to store in glass, just little tiny glass containers, you know, like the mason jars, things like that. And I recommend that you just do, you know, I do 1 tablespoon in a teapot like this.
Okay.
It holds a couple of cups. And I usually brew it hot, obviously, and then we can secretly have it cold.
I love it!
Here in the desert. Yeah.
And the amazing thing is how long this will last too in the glass. Okay, we are now moving on. So we've transitioned from the kitchen to another beautiful setting. This is a very special spot that I'm honored to sit in, because one of the things that I asked Cindy quite a while ago was, Cindy, I really want to receive a very special message from nature, from my spirits, from
the beings that you are related with.
Exactly.
At a soul level.
And if anyone I knew could do this was her, because like I said, when we met, there was just something there, and so now I know I'll get that message. So I'll let you go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, so as I connect with your energy, the first vision that I had of you, you know you're an angel, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you're huge. And so as I connect to you at a deeper level, and I connect to the galactics through the photon belt, which is the Milky Way, you know, I look out and I see that your deepest connection is with the Pleiades. Do you know the Pleiades?
No, not that well.
They call it the Seven Sisters.
Oh, that's what, okay. That I do know. I didn't know the name that went with that. Yeah.
Okay. So I believe that the Pleiadians, the frequency of light, you're one of the angels from the Pleiades.
Wow.
And I see the Pleiadian frequencies as the healer's healer. So you come in to help heal people at all levels.
Which is what I do. Right?
I know. But you have within you that where you open yourself up and you can just unroll. I want you to unroll all of the feathers that are really energetic love frequencies as your wings. And I want you to, in any space that you work with, any people that you're working with, I'd like to see you just open your energies out into a giant field, starting with that person, and then going all the way out, the city that they live in, the state that they live in, and anyone else connected that can receive the kind of love and healing that you're offering that individual, magnified.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's big. It's really big.
Yes, it is. And we're all connected, right?
Yeah. And so as you tap into knowing your soul light frequencies that are available to us, the kind of intelligences that you can connect with through your higher self, through your intuition, right? I always encourage people to start listening to their guides. And you hear your guides as little voices. Sometimes, you know, people are more clairvoyant. They see little pictures in their head. So in your meditation, I'm going to encourage you to ask to see your angels that are from the Pleiades, that are working with you in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I see you've got some cards here. What are we going to do?
Yeah, Maria asked me to do the cards. Now, normally when I'm doing a reading, I don't use the cards necessarily because I just use the frequency of the person's voice and their birth date. But here we go. So I need you to just take and choose a card, but I do need you to kind of shuffle the cards beforehand.
Okay.
And so the best way to shuffle the cards, in my view, is not to bend them,
Okay.
but to put them together, you know,
Oh,
any
and then
way
just-
that works for you.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna do like this.
It doesn't matter, just mix them up.
Yeah.
And then hand them back to me.
Yes. And
Just
when
think of
we
you.
finish this, I'm going to be so excited to have her share with you guys her most favorite piece of art that she recently did, because that'll be a nice wrap up besides this special message for me.
And so before we start this part, it's interesting, Queen Dee has a message for you.
Oh,
Now, Queen Dee is the regional fairy queen from the Pacific Northwest in Portland and the Columbia River Gorge. It was Queen Dee that gave me the recipes that became that.
oh.
And I named it Queen Dee's Recipe Book. And she has taught me so much. And it's such a fun thing to have, you know, a fairy, especially a fairy queen, always willing to teach you and to work with you. And it's Queen Dee who actually is painting through me. So as I tune in, you know, I'll ask, well, what do you want me to do? And then she'll tell me.
This is great.
And so anyway, but let's find out what Spirit wants for you.
Okay.
2 cards.
Two cards?
Face up.
Face up. Let's get these two.
Okay. Pick one first.
This one. Oh, books.
Surprise, surprise.
And children.
Okay.
Wow.
So as I'm giving a reading, because I want you to empower yourself to be able to give readings to other people, or really just trust your intuition a little bit more. The cards help you to realize the reflections of life that you already know. So when I look at these combinations, guess what? You're going to write a book in the kitchen with children, with kids. Let's see. It looks like you're teaching them how to cook for their grandparents instead of the other way around. Yeah. And I also see them illustrating the book for you. With drawings of the different parts that make up the recipes. So like tomatoes and eggplant and lettuce and all that stuff. And
I love this.
it becomes, you know, such a great creation. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Thank
So
you.
that's what Spirit really wanted you to know. Now you had originally selected this deck.
Yes.
So we'll have you shuffle again.
Okay.
And let's see what else comes up for you.
I'm gonna do this. I love this color on this deck. It's such a gorgeous color.
So I also tune into the mineral kingdom, and the mineral that jumps out that wants to be worn by you is jade. Do you have some jade?
Yes, I do.
It's a green jade?
Yes.
Good. Start
So
wearing
it. Okay. Good to know.
And is it a ring? Or
Yes, it's a ring. It's a ring. So
Okay.
it'd be easy to do.
Yeah. Well, I want you to work with the energy of the stone and
Okay.
see what happens when you wear that
Okay.
jade ring.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
This time is only one card.
One card. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one right here.
Huh. Okay. This is a very special card. Okay. It's called the treasure chest. I want you to close your eyes and remember a time when you were a child and you were super happy and you thought you could do anything you wanted to do. I want you to go back into your treasure chest, which is your play state, okay, and pick something that you always wanted to do in your life, and now's the time to bring it out. Are you getting any pictures? What?
Playing with a lot of jewelry.
Good.
Yeah, I never really got a chance to dress up too much, so.
I actually saw you making jewelry, so good job.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to our last piece of art. We'll see you in a minute. I could just go on and on about all the gifts that Cindy has, but one of my very favorite is how she has managed to put the beautiful art modality of painting, of crafting, what nature is speaking to her into something that's visible. And of all the art pieces that I've been privileged to see, and recently it was at Old Town Artisan Studios in La Quinta, this particular one I just feel so attracted to. As a matter of fact, I'm really considering even purchasing one of the pieces where she has it on metal. So go ahead and tell us about this beautiful piece.
Okay, so this painting is called Flower Messages, and the reason it's called that is because if you look close, very close, within the painting, there's a fairy queen, and she's the one, Queen D of course, who's given me the words to include.
And these words are amazing, you guys. Before she goes on, I got to read you a few of them. I mean, they're all things that any woman entrepreneur wants to have in her affirmations and in her belief system. We've got health. We've got over here breathing and freedom, and I can't see this fun, right? Is fun in there or is fun somewhere else?
Yes, fun,
Yeah.
happiness.
Happiness. Okay, creating. Okay, go ahead.
Love, art. It's all in here. And so this is a mixed media piece, which means that I painted with acrylics, I painted with watercolor, and I also printed on a gel plate some of the background colors that you see in here and applied them. So it's on tissue paper. And then I put it together. And of course, I asked Queen D, how do I blend these colors? What do I need to do to bring the depth? So the magic within is actually shared magic between Queen D, myself, and the flower kingdom and the plants.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, do you find that there's a special color that always seems to show up?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
You know, I think all artists have a palette that they like to paint. And right now, my palette is pink.
All right. And maybe that's why I gravitated it to, because I love the shades of pink, the darks, the shades in between. I just love this.
And so the first flower that comes up for you is the rose. And a pink rose is all about service to others.
Oh, wow.
So remember that.
Yeah, I will. So I'm going to be wearing jade. I'm going to remember the rose pink. Oh my gosh. And drink my wonderful energy tea. And with that said, Cindy, why don't you tell people where they can find you? Of course, everyone, I'll have this in the notes below.
I have one more thing I'd like to say.
Oh, please.
Okay, so I want to tune in just for a minute to all of the listeners. I want you to take a deep breath in and ground that energy into the earth. And I want you to open your hearts to the nature kingdom, to all the experiences that nature awaits for you to have with nature. Put your hand on a tree. Say your name to the tree and know in that very moment the tree is connecting by frequency of your voice and will always remember you whenever your voice is heard in the garden. I'm writing a book on trees right now, and the trees have a lot to say. And I'm listening to some of the ancient voices of the ancient trees that are still on the earth, who have been here for like 5,000 years, who are still living. And one of the things that a tree said to me, just for fun, was, guess what? You're the first human that's ever asked me for a message.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
And it told me that it had, because this tree is on the trade route, an old trade route, okay? And it had thousands of people that had passed underneath it.
So
and it had heard all these conversations, but
no one
I was
ever
the first human that ever asked to get a message. So,
you guys, lots here. All right, I will be putting where to contact Cindy, both on Instagram, her website, in the notes. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Cindy,
You're
for taking
welcome.
time and opening up your gifts, your heart, and your home to all of us. See you all next time. This will be the June Ladies of the Kitchen chat. Bye.